Welcome back to the Fishing Doctor's Adventures, and today we're going on a big ice fishing trip. We're going for 4 days. Gonna go up to the Cariboo region. Stick around. I think you'll like it. I'm gonna fish a bunch of lakes I've never fished before on this channel, and that's why you should stick around. But look at it. It's cold here. Last night it snowed. The vehicle's all covered by ice. My windshield wipers are frozen. Check it out. I had to break. Oh. Man, I'm gonna have to heat up the car. Clean this off. We usually don't get this stuff down here. Okay, let's go someplace colder. Every fishing trip starts with a question. Sometimes it's simple. Where are the fish today? Other times it's much bigger than that. This trip started hundreds of kilometers away from the destination, and we were gonna head straight into a cold Arctic blast. North through the Fraser Valley, the landscape slowly changed every mile. Blue skies gave way to clouds, and clouds gave way to the snow. And by the time we climbed higher into the interior, winter was in its full force. A cold front was pushing through the Cariboo, and the forecast was calling for temperatures as low as minus 26 degrees Celsius. Somewhere along the road, I decided, let's just try a smaller lake, give it a go, something I've never tried before. But that story deserves its own adventure. I'll post that some other time, because the real destination still lay further north. And hours later, into the dark, we arrived at Bridge Lake. Welcome back to the Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today, we are up at Bridge Lake in British Columbia, northern British Columbia, and it is cold out here. It's like minus 16, minus 18, I don't know how cold it is, but it's windy, and we're gonna go catch some fish. I think you can see the lake right through the trees over there. And we're at the lovely Bridge Lake Retreat Airbnb today. Jeep's right over there. My gear's over there. I gotta put it in the car so we can go catch some rainbow trout, lake trout, brook trout. No, not brook trout. Kokanee and burbot maybe. On the list it said brook trout are in here, but I don't actually think there's brook trout in this lake. If you think there is, tell me in the comments below. But we're gonna go out and catch some fish, so come along. Should be a fun one. Okay, we're back out on the lake. I'm fishing a lake I never really fished before. This wasn't supposed to happen. I'm out here with Rod, and storm blew in, cold front. Fish are not supposed to be biting, right? But we're out here anyways. We are starting the morning looking for kokanee. I drilled a few holes. We found a spot, drops from 90 feet down to like 130 feet. So we set up on this ridge, dropped a hook down to start searching if there was any kokanee around. I see a fish cruise by at 50 feet of water. I drop down to it. It disengages. It just swims away. I look up around 10, 15 feet. A school of kokanee comes in. I reel up to it, and guess what happened? I'm really sorry, guys, but you're going to have to forgive me, because look what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4 kokanee in like 5 minutes. I had 2 rods set up, both with Williams whitefish, tungsten jigs, circle tackle tungsten jigs, mealworm. Caught the first 2 with both rod. I dropped down the rod with no bait, and I hooked 3 more. I lost 1 but landed the other 2. Let's catch my 5th and final fish. It might take me all day, but I'm gonna catch it. You see, that's why I always have like 2 rods baited up. Oh, it's not too bad. I'm cooling off a bit before I put all my clothes on, because I get so hot pulling out. Yeah, it's pretty cold. So just using a Williams whitefish spoon as a flasher, about 10 inches down, I have a little pink circle tackle tungsten jig with half a mealworm. There was a lot of fish in that school, probably like 20 kokanee. Oh yeah, they'll be back. Because I wasn't even down there when I brought them in. They came in independently. 2 year classes, 2 different year classes swimming together. Because I was way down deep, 50 feet down, and they came by. That's why sonar, you really can't ice fish without sonar. It's so important, the sonar, just finding the fish. So even though I'm in 120 feet of water, I know most of the fish are suspended. So I just set my sonar to either 40 or 80 feet deep. That way I get a better picture of the top of the water column. If I'm not fishing like right down in the bottom, I know most of the fish are suspended like 60 feet and up. You don't need to keep your sonar programmed all the way to the bottom. So that way you get a better look at what's actually down there and what's closer to the top. Oh, there's one. There's more down there. Yeah, there were only 2 or 3 this time, but there's more. You hate ice? I got him, I got him, I got him. Oh, that's a nice one. You hate ice fish? I got my limit before he set up the tent. Oh man, I love ice fishing. Look at that. Would you look at that? That's just so crazy. I never expected that run, that we'd hit it that good. I know if the sun comes out, it might change a little bit, but the temperature stays the same. So that was fun, man. Here I thought Bridge Lake was just slow fishing. Walleye X Fast with little tungsten jig, Williams whitefish, kokanee. 5 kokanee already. That's crazy. Probably gonna just drill holes like straight into that point there and see. Oh man, so only 2 groups of fish came through and got my limit so they don't freeze. Can maybe eat some later. Fish tacos, kokanee tacos, but now we're trying to see if any other fish come through. Just moving around to different holes. Rod needs to catch his fish, and then we're gonna go try to catch lake trout and burbot. I'm probably just gonna drill holes closer to shore, get on a shallower shelf and see if I can't find them coming through. Pretty cold out here. After those first couple flurries of kokanee action, they disappeared. So middle of the day, good time to get positioned for later bite. So you probably saw me drilled holes from where I know the ridge is, because 90 feet drops off to 120. I drilled straight into shore from the 90-foot hole. So it's gonna take me along that ridge from the deep water up into the shallower water and then towards shore. So it's going shallower that way. So I'm hoping that there's some like rainbow trout, burbot, bigger lake trout stacked up against that rocky point over there. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm gonna take a jig, go see if I can't mark a fish or catch a fish. So let's go. Good morning and welcome back. Second day at Bridge Lake. I woke up early. Rod's gonna sleep in because it's minus 25 out here. And birds are chirping. Listen to them. Maybe you can't hear them. Chirping beautifully. Sun is rising behind me. And I have the beautiful Bridge Lake Retreat Airbnb behind me. Come check it out. You get the lower floor. It's pretty nice. 2 bedrooms. Got a kitchen, bathroom. Nice warm shower and a fireplace. Very nice place to stay, right next to the lake. The lake is just right through those trees right over there, and there's a lake access just right here. But I'm going just a little bit down the lake, 4 minutes away to Ross Road. So let's get on the lake and go catch some kokanee. Back out in the spot, super different than yesterday. Looks like a high pressure system, minus 26, no wind at all. Sun is shining beautifully. Check that out, just gorgeous day. And I'm gonna put the camera up right to start because I missed all the action yesterday. Well, that's odd, my battery must be really cold or something. Yeah, look at that. Don't leave your batteries in the car when it's really cold. This one was in the house. So that battery's frozen. That's why it's not running very well. So much nicer today than yesterday. Hopefully the fish are biting. So 120 feet deep, but I set it on the 40 or 80 foot depth because they're in the top of the water column. Most of the bigger fish are swimming down around 60 feet. So I'm gonna choose 80 so I can see if there's like a lake trout or something swimming by. I got a rod I can drop down for them too. So hopefully I can get into some fish right away. Put new bait on your jigs. A guy actually just asked me when I woke up this morning how to catch kokanee ice fishing, and I directed him to my videos, but this is a video, so I might as well tell you that there's really only a few keys you need to know. For most lakes, kokanee fishing, kokanee favor the lake basin, so the deeper portions of the lake kind of out in the middle, and they're suspended or pelagic fish most of the time. Not that they can't go in shallow and feed in a few feet of water, but most of the time, most of their lives in winter, they spend out in the middle of the lake below the ice. Now they can be anywhere from right below the ice, like inches below the ice, I've caught them, and all the way down to 100 feet down. But most of the day, most days that you're out fishing for kokanee, you're gonna find them in the top like 30 feet of the water column. So anywhere from right under the ice to anywhere about 30 feet down. A key to fishing for them is actually using sonar. If you don't have sonar, you're gonna struggle with marking and finding fish and knowing what depth they're at, because you can't catch them unless you're actually fishing in their zone where they're swimming. And actually seeing them is a huge benefit to actually catching them, because you can work them into a frenzy and actually get them to bite. If you're just jigging randomly, you're not going to know when they're biting, and you're going to have struggle getting the presentation in front of them and actually getting them to bite. So having the sonar is huge. And then the next thing is, what do you use? I just use these Williams whitefish as a flasher spoon, and then a piece of 8 to 12 pound fluorocarbon leader with the pink tungsten jig below. That works really well. The tungsten jig is heavy, stays below the spoon so it doesn't get all tangled up. And then varying the length of that leader from the spoon to the jig is really key. You have to figure out what they want. I usually start short, as it's more aggressive of a presentation, helps them find it and they'll come in and grab it. If they're coming in but they're not actually biting it, you can lengthen that out. So I start around 10 to 12 inches, and you can go as long as 16 to 24 inches. I've seen some guys even go like 3 feet, but I don't think that's necessary. Usually a couple feet is long enough, and we'll get those finicky fish biting. Okay, let's see if we can catch some. I don't know if I'll be able to do it today if I don't see any, but we'll try. When you're first starting fishing, you kind of have to find where the fish are. So I kind of just work the water column until I see some fish swim by. I'll drop down to 60 feet and just slowly jig my way down and watch if anything swims in. And then when I hit that depth, I'll jig around a bit there and then slowly work up. Every 5 feet. You pull up that jig and jig it a bit, and then watch as it comes up and jig some more and see if you see any fish. That's the key. And then watching the sonar all the time above your spoon, because if you see anything swim by, you crank up really quick to that level, jig, and try to engage those fish to get them to bite. Did you hear that? Man, that was a loud boom. I felt it. Big school down there right now. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. There's one. Grab the other rod, get it down there. This is how it's done when there's a school down there. Get it down there as fast as you can before they swim away. There we go. Oh, missed him. There we go. There we go. Now I gotta get that hook back down there as fast as possible. Unhook. Drop it back down. before they swim away. Still there? Oh, I think they went away. That's why you got to have multiple rods ready. I could have had even more rods, because in the time that I had to unhook that fish, they swim away. We're gonna rebait, so we're ready when the next ones come. It's funny because I saw fish way down like 70 feet deep, and I dropped down to that one, so I wasn't even in the screen, and then I saw them come through up top, raised it up to them, and they were really aggressive. So I was worried with this big weather and pressure change, but those guys were feeding heavily, so temperature stayed low. Still a big cold front, even though it's sunny. Fish are still biting. 3 more. There was a bunch down there. It's too bad they didn't stick around very long. Well, I'm warm now. I was getting worried there. I wasn't marking anything, and then all of a sudden I saw that fish go by at 70 feet, drop down there, and then up top here comes some fish by. So the big question is now, I've only seen that one group of kokanee. Do you move? Do you go someplace else? It's 9:37. We got out here just after 10 yesterday, and that's when I had that really good flurry of action. So I don't know. Do I stay or do I waste time moving and try to find fish? It's always the big question. Because these are just roaming fish. They just cruise around. So are you more likely to run into fish by hopping around, or are you more likely to run into fish if you're just sitting? But if you're not in an area that they're like patterned to go through much, sometimes it makes sense to make a big move. I usually do move a lot when I'm kokanee fishing if I can. And it quite often helps me get into an area where I'm seeing more fish. So, and sometimes you don't have to move that far, just like 100 yards over, and all of a sudden you're into more fish. So we'll give it 5 more minutes here, and then I'll probably move a few hundred yards one direction. If I'm not seeing anything, maybe I'll move in, because this is one basin, and over there is another basin. So maybe I'll move into that basin, try something completely different. It is really cold, minus 26. I took my glove off, man. Chilly. Oh, nothing's here. We should make a move. I looked down the hole. These fish eat zooplankton or daphnia. Sometimes there's big clouds below the ice, and that might keep them in an area. I looked down the hole, and there's a few, but not that many. So it's not like I'm in a hot area for their feed. It would just be like a passing zone, and they won't spend much time here because I don't really see. Sometimes there's just big clouds of those daphnia, like really heavy. It's solid red when you look down, but here it doesn't look like that right now. So I might have to go move and see if I can find a bigger cloud of daphnia or more fish, because they're biting when they came through, but they're just not coming through right now. Okay, let's go find a different spot. It's cold. Oh, a little bit of a breeze. Just frostbite on the skin, man. Woo! Well, that's weird. Am I on a hump? I'm only in 5 feet of water. I'm way out here in the middle of the lake. I was in 120 feet of water. I walked like 200 yards. And now I'm in 5 feet of water. I'm on top of a hump. So I gotta walk a little bit further to get off this hump. But first, let's see if there's any rainbow trout on this hump. Oh, there's a fish there. There he is. Let's go try these holes I've drilled. I kind of want to be kokanee fishing, but since I drilled a hole right on top of the hump accidentally and it was 5 feet deep, I couldn't help myself, drop the hook. Right away, a big mark came through a few times, but it didn't bite. Now I'm stuck here because I want to see what that is. I'm pretty sure they're rainbow trout. Well, today I just had that one school come through, picked off 2 of them, and I haven't seen any more kokanee since, even though I've moved around and tried several different locations. So sometimes you can try to track them down. Doesn't work either. I'm not sure where they go, but it's a big lake, and if they're traveling around in tight schools, they can miss you by 20 yards and be on their way. It's kind of tough fishing because it's just open water, pelagic. They're not relating to any structure. They're just swimming around like aimlessly. I'm sure there's some pattern to it, but you really have to just put in the weight game, and hopefully a school comes by and you can catch them. At least that's what I find here on Bridge Lake. It's not really that hot and consistent that you're in an area where they keep coming through. It's like big school comes through, but then you'll wait a long time before another one comes through, from my experience over the last 2 days. Couple nice kokanee today. Hello, good morning. We're back out, leaving the Bridge Lake retreat. Just want to give a shout out to the owners here. Thanks for hosting us. It was a great little stay in the cabin. If you're coming out to Bridge Lake or the Cariboo region and you need a place to stay, consider this place. We had a lot of fun here. Let's go. Final morning of kokanee fishing. Trying to make this video action-packed for you because the first day, which was the most action-packed 10 minutes of kokanee fishing maybe of my life, I didn't have the camera set up, so that was a fail. Sorry guys, but hopefully they bite this morning. Let's go. When I walk out on the lake, I don't wear all my clothes because even though it's minus 17, a bit windy, you really sweat. So the key is not getting fully dressed until you're out here and cooled off. So I wait to put all my clothes on until I start getting cooled down, and then I break out the clothes. There was one more tip I wanted to tell you guys that I forgot yesterday. I learned this from a fishing buddy, and his key to success was using this Williams whitefish. I always use the Williams whitefish. I just was using the straight silver one. But he said using the silver and blue one brings the fish in more, and I kind of believe it. If you look at the back of a kokanee, its back is kind of bluish and sides are silver. So why not use that one, mimic the flash of the fish better? I'm gonna put fresh bait on these, but while I'm baiting up, oh, there's one there already. There he comes, there he comes. That was fast. There's some there. Come on, bite it, bite it, bite it. There's two there right away. Oh, he's back, he's back. I was saying it's always good to put a rod down when you're baiting up, just so you attract the fish, and right away as first drop there was one there. Actually two there. Hopefully there's more around and not like the other days where they just disappear after a bit. So this morning, it's a little different weather. Partially cloudy, minus 17, so about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday morning. There's a breeze coming from the opposite direction, so I don't know if that's gonna turn the fishing off. Weather change quite significant from yesterday. We've had fluctuating patterns of weather this week, but the bite has been pretty consistently good. So despite the weather being, starting out cold, windy, and snowing, and then going to just bright, sunny, and very cold yesterday without as much wind, to today, cold still, partially cloudy, and it feels like the wind's going in the opposite direction. So another change in the system. All these fluctuations sometimes put a halt to the bite, but it seems this week, since we had such a long period of warm weather in the middle of winter, the fish were really turned off. And now we have just a little sliver of a moon, and the fish are turned on with this cold snap. Man, this is a challenge. Just those two fish and no more marking. We'll just keep hopping around and looking for fish, and hopefully can find one that bites. It's tough fishing. There's one. Oh, there's some down there right now. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. Oh no. Oh, oh. I got tangled in the markham. Let's get it down. Let's get this markham down. See if there's another one down there. I thought he came off. I went for the scoop. I think I scared those other ones away. Beautiful kokanee right there. Such a cool fish. I actually snapped the hook off, so I actually scooped that fish. Can't believe I got it. Nothing there. Oh, running out of time. Maybe half an hour left, and then we're gonna go pack up the cabin there, Bridge Lake Retreat, and then we'll head over to another lake, maybe brook trout or rainbow trout for the afternoon bite, a little closer to home. Well, it's been another beautiful morning out on Bridge Lake. A little bit nippy, minus 17. Wind's picking up now, but sun's shining. Really warms up things when the sun is shining. But if you want to come out and fish kokanee, there are definitely a lot of kokanee in this lake, and they get to really nice size. So you can get big kokanee in the wintertime. Most of the ones I was catching were ranging from about 15 to 17 inches. I'm not sure like what's the biggest ones guys get in the winter, but these are definitely decent fish, and they're pretty fat. They're not really slender like some other lakes. They typically, for me in the last 3 days, have been running fairly high, like 5 feet down to 20 feet down, but most fish are coming in around that 10-foot range. So just putting my presentation and just working it through that zone seems to be working the best. Once they come in, I just work them into a bit of a frenzy, slowly pull it away to them. When they lose interest, I drop it back down, and then I slowly bring it back up again. And that motion of just slowly pulling it away from them really helps you feel those bites, because when they grab it, you're already putting tension on the line. It makes it easier to feel. So use those few tips. Hopefully it helps you catch some kokanee out here on Bridge Lake. If you like the videos, don't forget to share a comment down below. Tell me what you've been up to lately. Ask questions. I can help you out usually. If I can't, I'll try to direct you to someone who might be able to, or a video that might be helpful. If you could share this video with a friend, that would be great. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button. God bless. Go catch a big one, and see you later.